We now welcome the two-time champion with the Hard Candy Show, Kyle "Rowdy" Busch.
How does it feel to have the unfair advantage of having a paint scheme that caters to children because it's a candy scheme and you have an unfair advantage in popularity?
I love it because it's perfect for me. Fortunately, in my career so far, I've been with two kids companies, one with Kellogg's and now ever since with M&M's and Snickers and Skittles and all the great things and the best Halloween candies that are out there. And, of course, every single year I get to have the best Halloween schemes that are out there. So I'm really pumped always about that. So it's a lot of fun. I love it. Love the kids. They're always fun. They're innocent. They don't know no better. They just cheer for the candy car. So it's cool.
They cheer for the guy who's racing his ass off every week. And that's why we love you here. Well, you know, Paul's got his own fandom over there with the 3 team. But every week, I'm fighting for you here on the Kyle Long Show, so we appreciate you taking the time. I love watching you in all the series that you run in because, you know what, my favorite thing is a guy that's versatile. Yep. Versatility is huge, and I think it's the best ability, and you're a guy with that, so we appreciate you for that. You have a ton of wins, man, and a lot of people like to talk about the nature of some of those wins. What would you like to say to those folks today? Because I will die on this hill. It's a hell of an accomplishment. Absolutely. The things that you've done in a race car.
I don't know, man. You can battle the haters all you want and then talk about how good or cool or all the wins were or whatnot, but they're always going to have some sort of fact of the matter, I guess, of that one didn't mean anything. There wasn't anybody that you were racing in truck or Xfinity or whatever, but you know, I remember early on in the early years of running in the truck series, and I was, 16, 17, whatever it was, 18, I guess. And I was running against guys like Ron Hornaday and Mike Skinner and Todd Bodine and Jack Sprague and all the champions of the series. And then also there were some moonlighters, like Casey Kane or Tony Stewart, a couple other guys that would come in and race as well too. And I was beating those guys, so felt really cool to be able to get those wins when I was a younger buck, I guess, on my way up through and not just with the experience that I have now racing against kids that don't have the experience, but those wins were really, really special to me.
No, it's awesome. I haven't been in the sport too long, but the one thing that holds true is at any level of this sport, it's hard to win. And you've done it at every level, every year. You've proven that you're one of the best. I'd say one of the best of all time. And it's fun to watch. It's cool to see it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I love doing it, man. It's nothing. I don't know anything else. I was going to maybe be a baseball kid when I was growing up, and then my dad was like, man, you're killing your grandma. You got to pick one or the other. We can't do baseball and racing. So I decided to go the racing route. Looked like it was a little bit more fun and more interesting, I guess. And here we are.
You know what, man? You're talking about being in it since being a young buck, and it's important to point out that certain drivers in the Cup Series have young bucks of themselves, sons at home who are fighting it out, and learning how to race cars and stuff. Your son, Brexton, Keelan Harvick is another guy. When you guys have beef on the track, is it kind of understood? You're like, all right, the boys are going to figure it out. They're going to go figure this out one day.
Yeah, well, right now, Brexton's he's only 5 and Keelan is 8 or 9. So they're in different classes, so they're not quite running against each other
down the
yet,
road.
But,
is this on the ticket though? Is this this going to be? Is this
it's going to happen?
Kevin joke around about?
It's going to happen. Owen Larson's out there. Cash Boyer, he's going to get out there next year. So there's going to be a lot of these kids, and I'm going to tell Brexton, don't take no man, go get them.
I love that. I don't expect any different from you. It seems like you have such a genuinely great time doing that with your son, with your family.
I hope one of these days he at least listens to me, though. Like when I was growing up, I had a hard time listening to my dad because I didn't think he was very smart or didn't know what he was talking about. And I'm sure Brexton looks at me in the exact same eyes. But you never know until we get a little bit older.
They come around. You're also a reality show star, as well as my co-host Paul Swan here. Racing Wives. I'm shocked it didn't win more awards. You two clearly
they needed more of the men showing on the show. They needed more of me and Kyle.
Well, I guess we could be considered racing wives too, in that aspect. I mean, husbands, wives, husbands, flip the role a little bit. We're sometimes wives as well too with that honeydew list. Paul's Paul's cameos on the show, and
we sure do enjoy Paul here.
I don't know who else better that you could ask to get on there. I mean, the guy's got, like I said, he's got his own surrounding and his own following of people that want to be Paul Swan, man.
I appreciate that, Kyle.
You know, it's funny because I brought my dad on the show, KB, and he was kind of busting Paul's balls in the same regard. He was saying, you know, how long does it take for you to get out of the house in the morning with that hairdo?
Got the hair.
Yeah. So for me, it don't take me very long. But Paul, I know he probably has to shower, and then he has to shave, and I'm not just talking about his face. Then he's got to doll up his hair. He's got to get the juju in there, and then he has to. I swear, probably the toughest decision is whether or not he wears sleeves or cut off at the shoulder.
There you go, man. That is the crucial one of it all. That's the game-changing sealer one right there.
Do you even check the weather to know which route to go?
Buddy, never. Short, skies out, thighs out, sun's out, guns out, all the time.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so your knowledge of the racing world is very vast, but I want to focus it in on the championship. What are your predictions? Obviously, you're going to be partaking here, but the unique position of being on the outside looking in.
Man, those four guys were really, really good at Phoenix. I think, as a matter of fact, Denny was pretty dominant at Phoenix last fall. But this spring, I think all four of those guys led a portion or a section of that race and were looking really, really good. I think Chase actually looked the best and had a flat tire. So I might have to go with Chase Elliott on that one.
You know, I'm buddies with TJ Majors, so I'm going to be pulling for Logano now. Always want to see you win, but now that the situation is what it is.
Oh, I still hope I win. I can win the race. That's fine. The rest of those guys can settle for second.
But you've already gotten your win. The streak is still alive. I want you to talk to us about the streak, because I think that's important, and it's something that isn't talked about enough. The streak.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's like I said before, it's a 16-year investment. You've been in this sport for this long, and if you lose it now, you're never going to get back to that again. I may only have 10, 12 years left in me, so I'm never going to get back to 15 again. So it's definitely a very meaningful opportunity for me to continue on that winning tradition, continue on being able to score at least one victory in a year for 16 straight years. So to me, that was when we fell out of the playoffs. That to me was like the focal point. That was the only thing left to do for the year. And Texas, we brought a really fast car, so I'm glad that we were able to win that thing straight up outright and take home the trophy.
But you say 10, 12, 13 years. I'm doing the math there on Brex. And could we have a little Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. type action going on there?
It's possible. I'll definitely be wheeled in a wheelchair to my car in order to get in there to go racing by then. You at least at some point have to figure if you're struggling and you're not winning and you're on this winless streak, it's pretty much over. So, if it comes to that, hopefully it doesn't. I am KFB, by the way, so we'd love to be able to keep winning all the way through.
Yeah.
Now, I love it.
If you and him are in a battle towards the finish line and he's got a chance to win, you got a chance to win, you going to race him hard or you going to give him that dub?
Hell no, man. You got to earn this. Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
Let's go. Love that.
It ain't easy. You can't make it easy. I told Brex, I was like, look, man, if you do this racing thing, you better figure out ways to win in everything that we do before you move on up to the next one. Otherwise, we just ain't rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's a good segue into the conversation regarding our pal over here, Kevin Harvick, who we talk about a lot on the show. You really made Kevin Harvick have to earn it. He came back from 2 laps down after a stage 2 incident. I'm a young fan in the sport, so I love to watch you guys battle. Take me through the incident that happened and through your point of view.
The fact of the matter is he ran me down for the last 5 laps of the race, and I was shocked because I was pushing as hard as I could go because I knew I needed to stay ahead of him and not let him get to me because I knew what was going to happen if he did get to me. So I'm just trying to run my line, trying to keep it right around the bottom and trying to keep it under the curb. But, man, I got so tight at the end of the race that I slowed down and he caught me. And I was like, well, here we go. It's the last lap. And, he was on my bumper a little bit off of turn 2. And I was like, if I go in on the bottom, he's just going to root me out of the way and push me in the stuff. So I kind of went in high, into turn 3, and I think I shocked him because he was like, wait, what? Like, I gave him the groove. I gave him the bottom. And then I came off the corner, and then he probably was like, oh, he's not giving it to me. He's going to race it up off the corner. Shoot, I got to hit him. And it was kind of too late. Like, I think he didn't quite think it through fast enough as to how he was going to do it. But I kind of knew that if he was going to wreck me and I couldn't keep going, that obviously him gaining that position on me, if I just stopped in the fence or whatever, then Denny got by me, then it's a wash. You know what I mean? I would have just finished last car on the lead lap or something. So he knew he couldn't do it bad enough that it eliminated me and pushed me back behind Denny. So I don't know. You know, there was a lot of situation in that moment.
You went full wheel, man. You kept that thing straight. I mean, you were seeing every bit of the track, and then you come out of there like the Dark Knight Batman straight out of there. It's the coolest thing to see that. To somebody who has zero skill on my end, to see somebody pull that off, I get scared when I back out of my garage and there's ice. Yeah. So I can't even imagine what's going through your mind there.
Well, when it was all said and done and it ended the way that it did, I was like, wait, what? Like, it's all good? Like, bye-bye. I'm out.
Yeah.
See ya.
That is great. Well, moving on to Phoenix, we talked about it a little bit. What are you thinking about for next year? What's your mindset going into next season? Let's send a message to the Kyle Busch fans out there from the mouth, from yourself.
Well, it's been a tough season. We've certainly shown glimpses of speed at times. We had a really good car, a really fast car at Texas. So, I think we just need to be open-minded and work on some fresh ideas and some things that we can come out of the box with next year that'll produce speed again. But, I'm optimistic. I look forward to the start of every season. I always want to come out of the gate strong. You want to win a few races and get that points cushion and those opportunities built up with those stage points and everything that you need to carry yourself on through the playoffs. And we just didn't do that this year. So execution was down, but, there's going to be a fresh start for everybody come Daytona, and we got to be ready for it.
We all cannot wait to see you get back after it, but starts with the championship round. Thanks so much, Kyle, for coming on the show. Obviously, you've been so cool to me and inviting open arms with the whole NASCAR community, but you especially I've been able to reach out to and been in conversation with. It's been a really good experience, and I love watching you race, man. So thanks for coming on the show. For Paul and I, we look forward to seeing you next time.